hand soldering to install electronics components on PCB. For soldering, we must use its tools, which are soldering iron, soldering iron stand, helping hand soldering, desoldering pump, solder wire, desoldering oil, soldering iron sponge, wire cutter.
Explain the function of the soldering tool.
Soldering oil.
What is solder grease? Soldering oil is an oil that is highly needed in the soldering profession, and without it, soldering work cannot be performed properly. There are different types of this oil that contain almost the same ingredients. There are 3 types of solder oil used in soldering. Solid or thick solder oil, which is created at a very low temperature, semi-liquid or semi-thick solder oil, and liquid or thin solder oil, which is much easier to use. This solder oil is made from a combination of 2 or 3 types of oil to leave it in a liquid state. This oil should have compounds that help the conductivity of the oil and not become an obstacle to the connection of metals during soldering. Therefore, soldering oil is made of materials called colophon or rosin, which is a kind of solvent that dissolves waste materials and oxygen in itself, and after the soldering place cools, it becomes ineffective and its residue will not cause any problems. What is the difference between solder oil and flux? The difference between what is known in the market as solder oil and what is called flux is in the additional capabilities of flux. Both solder oil and flux will deoxidize the contact area between the parts and the PCB, also increasing the humidity of the board and maintaining the heat will provide the proper shape of the solder. Flux, in addition to the 2 mentioned, has reduced soldering time. Of course, it should be noted that in most cases, solder oil is the same as flux. What is the substitute for solder grease? The tin paste is one of the materials used in soldering SMD parts and is a combination of flux, tin powder, and lead. In soldering SMD parts with hot air, it is not possible to use solder wire and tin paste as used. In these cases, the paste is exposed to heat and infrared rays melt and connect the electronic components to the printed circuit fiber.
To support me, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, press the bell button for notifications, subscribe to my channel for new videos, share my videos, write me a comment. Thank you.